G'day guys, Tom Mitchell here. I'm going to take you through 3 things today that I like to do to prepare for a game. The first thing involves mobility and injury prevention, which I'll get into now. Secondly, I like to get into the gym and do a little bit of strength, and then finally finish off with some touch to make sure the ball skills are ready for game day. So one of the first exercises I like to do when I get to the club early in the morning is a simple glute bridge. So a lot of the guys like to do a lot of injury prevention sort of exercises, and this is one that's quite simple, but simply activating glutes, which are a key muscle group in everything we do with our running and our strength. So we call these isometric holds. So I'll do roughly 3 10-second holds on each leg. Focusing on staying quite symmetrical with my legs, so they're parallel. And I'm not sort of leaning out to either side, and you can sort of really feel the middle of your glute firing. Another exercise I like to do as a part of my program is a ground ball squat. Clearly most of my game is at ground level. I'm not super in the air, but ground level is my go. So I like to do some ground ball squats, getting into low positions that I'll be in on game day, picking up the ball. So I try and keep a flat spine if possible. I don't want to be leaning over like this because I'm going to be off balance, and I also can't see my teammates up here if I'm picking the ball up. So I focus on getting into these low positions like this. Again, I'll do an isometric hold here for maybe 20 seconds, come up, rip the ground away when I come up, and I'll do probably 3 reps of this. Preparation's always been a key pillar of mine, and I think as you get older and more experienced, you find out that it's what helps with your longevity. You may see on game day that I have my right shoulder taped, so I've had a few injuries to that shoulder over my career, but there's a number of exercises I do to help with that, to get my range of motion right above my head, so that when I go into that position on game day at a dynamic pace, I've already been to that range before the game, and so therefore it's more comfortable when my body's prepared for it. So a really basic exercise I like to do is to find a line like this. I'll have my knees parallel with my hands. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips to start. So you're in a 4-point position, and then I'll extend my hands roughly 1.5 hands lengths out, and then rotate my hands outwards. So you're really stretching the outskirts of your shoulders, and then pushing from my hands, hinging at the hips to lower. And then you can sort of picture this is kind of like an overhead mark. So you're preparing your shoulder for the full range of motion, but also doing the movement with using the force of the ground, so you can get a lot of push back from the ground and a lot of control as well. Then conversely, when we come up, push through your feet and put your weight back into your hands. And again, I'll probably do 3 reps of this just to get my shoulder to that full length range. Been around for a while, and you learn things that work for you, and everyone prepares slightly differently, but I do a lot of training called DNS training, which is dynamic neuromuscular stability. I think that's the term for it. And it's a lot of these postures and movements which you get yourself into these postures in your training and preparation, so that when you do them in a game, your body's conditioned to it and you've experienced that movement many times. Secondly, I like to get up into the gym. I like to use bands in the gym to activate my muscles before game day. So I'll show you a couple of exercises. The first one is a core exercise. This is called the pull-off press. So you tie a band around a pole, as we have here. Hold the band with your outside hand. You're going to get into a low squat position. Extend out with your arms right in front of your chest. Hold for maybe 5 seconds, and then slowly back in. Out again, back in. For simplicity, we're going to use this same band in the exact same position, and we're going to do a single arm banded pull. So again, legs split like this, and then with my left arm here, going to pull. How this may transfer into a game is if you're chasing someone and going to tackle and you're pulling them in before executing the tackle, this may be an exercise that translates to that. The last exercise here is a fend off, which you'll see a lot of players in the AFL use. Again, you can do this with a band. So using the exact same band in the same position, separate your legs again, and then simply just executing a fend off as you would try to do in a game.
third thing I like to do before preparing for a game is do a lot of touch. So I've got a few drills here for you guys that I like to do the day before a game. The first one is simply juggling. A bit harder with footies than tennis balls, but I'll just do this for around a minute. And I find this just really helps with my hand-eye coordination. Another drill I like to do, again focusing on taking the ball one-handed, is having a partner, someone throw the ball into one hand, bouncing it one hand, and then grabbing it one-handed again. So you'll see a lot of basketball players palm the ball, and I think it's really good for your ball control to be able to do this. So this is another drill I'll do to work on my one-hand takes the day before a game. Both hands, obviously. You can throw a handball in as well if you want it. The last touch drill I like to do as a tutor before game day is to have 2 footballs. This is a drill that you can do by yourself, and it's a handballing drill, but it's also having handball with really good control and not too much movement, so therefore focusing on your accuracy. So you're gonna have 2 balls. The balls are basically gonna travel up in the air like this simultaneously, but you'll be handballing the ball. So the challenge with this one is to not let the handballs go all over the shot, and to try and keep your feet pretty stationary. Again, there's a few variations. You can go all the way around on the right hand, all the way around on the left. Thanks for coming along today to watch, guys. This is how I try to get my body moving the day before a game to ensure I'm moving well for game day.